Out on the Graham Farms feed mill road, right out in front of me field was the airport. Over here to the right, White River Co-op. This on the left was the airport at one time, before the new airport was built. You see the Purdue feed mill, it's the Graham Farms historic feed mill. Building there. I worked there back in 1977 for about 5 or 6 weeks loading turkey feed trucks for Armour. As we come up here to the stop sign, this is the Wabash and Erie Canal. There used to be some really big maple trees around that building. They cut those out a few years back. Out in front of us is the West Fork of the White River bottoms. And of course, in the 08 flood again, this out in front of us was, a lot of it was underwater. The water didn't quite get up this far. There were places immediately out in front of us that were underwater. Building here, I think it's part of the Graham complex. Power transformers behind it there. North. Of course, it is May the 7th. See a lot of farming activity here. It's kind of a haze over this. It's from all the dust being kicked up from the farm equipment. Kind of smell it if you were here. Kind of take it in. This is 225 West. See how sandy it is here. This was underwater. We have pictures in the museum where the river was coming down through here to Prairie Creek. And at this metal bridge here, I was actually on the other side facing north. This levee right here to the left was washing out. So this levee right here, I saw it, and we have pictures of it, broke through right here, and eventually broke through for about probably, I don't know, length of a football field down through there. All that got washed out. And the river was trying to go into Prairie Creek. It wasn't Prairie Creek coming out, there was a river going into Prairie Creek here. Well, I was over here on the other side. There are two guys on this bridge in pickup trucks, and the river was starting to come across and get over here out of Prairie Creek. And you can kind of, I don't know if you can tell, but there's kind of a low spot here, and this was starting to fill in. And those guys, there was a guy on a moped talking to me on that rise there. And I said, those guys on that bridge better move. And about that time, they got in their trucks and come through. The river's going to cut them off. The river was rising very rapidly then. That was back in 2008. See the irrigation equipment here. There's water out here on this river bottom. If you go drilling down even 10 or 15 feet, you probably hit water. It's just water tables right there. When they dig ponds out here, they just dig a pit and the water table comes up. It's not really a pond that holds water, it just reveals the water table. You can't tell it, but there's a dead skunk around here somewhere. Nice strong smell of it. Now we've videotaped this before, but off on the right there's a grove of trees. That is a cemetery. That's Prairie Creek. Remember when Rod Wright showed that to me the first time? Some very, very early graves in that cemetery. See the irrigation equipment here. You'd have to go under the irrigation equipment to get to the cemetery here. Well, what they've done to the road. The road's gone. They've cut the road out of that. Let's talk to them about that. This is actually April Road. So this is the road that went to the ford. Here was a schoolhouse that was converted to a home. I went through it with Rod Wright once. It's torn down now. Yeah, it's just a ruin. Couldn't keep it up. We wanted to do something with it, but we really couldn't do anything then. This is Rod Wright's complex that dates back, I think, to the 1860s. I remember telling me right. No pun intended there. Off on the right here was a private airport, and this is where Rod Wright Sr. tested parachutes for the military in World War II. Take off and fly from there. Rod took me down here to this drive right here, and he pointed off in the to the right there, right up that way, and he said that's where April Ford was. This was underwater during the flood.